The Landers for you. Now, I promised you earlier on in the show, when I first started, about 6 o'clock, that we were going to talk to a guy who, I just don't know quite how to put this into words. He's doing some kind of crazy challenge. He's not doing it by himself. He's doing it to raise money for charity, and there's going to be some other people involved. But it is one half, big mission that he's going to be taking part on. So it's the annual Sikh Helpline charity bike ride. It's going to see dozens of people, loads of people of all sorts of backgrounds cycle. Not from Coventry to Birmingham. No. That would be way too easy. It's from Edinburgh to Birmingham to raise money for charity this week. So I think in between training and resting and eating properly and getting himself all ready, we do have the founder of the Sikh Helpline, Sikh Singh, to tell us all about it. Now, he's on the phone right now. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So we've got you at a quiet moment. Are you have you had a cycle ride today? Have you been training, or what have you been up to?
Yeah, we've been doing crazy cycling all this while. We've been doing 100 miles, 80 miles, 40 miles, just to keep up and train ourselves and be prepared for the big challenge. Because it's about 350 miles all the way from Edinburgh to West Midlands.
Oh, what an incredible challenge. Now, the bike ride itself is taking place Thursday the 25th, so this Thursday. So where are you starting from?
We're all going to gather in Guru Harai Gurudwara, West Brum town. And then from here, we're going to travel together. We got a minibus, we got vans to go along. So we'll transport ourselves to Scotland, in Edinburgh. We'll stay overnight. And then 25th morning on Thursday, sharp 6 o'clock in the morning, we'll make a move. It's about 120 miles, 110 miles to Newcastle. And once we reach in Newcastle, and then we'll stay overnight. And the next day, we'll continue to Leeds, which is again another 100 miles. Now, after doing 120 miles, you're going to do 100 miles the next day. It's going to be very, very tough. After that, we're going to take another ride to Derby, which is another 80 miles. And then from Derby, about 50 miles to Birmingham.
Right, well, I know I'm speaking to you on the phone, and I know this is radio, but if you could just see my face right now, I've suddenly gone very pale, and I've had to actually had to stretch my legs out because my knees and my bottom's hurting. You're sitting on a saddle for that long.
Yeah, just to add on to that, I was looking at the Strava, the route we are taking, and on the hills we are going to go through. After Scotland, 30 miles after Scotland, we are going to hit a hill which is continuous 5 miles uphill. And then the final half mile, it goes up at, I think, about 14%. And that is going to be a big challenge.
You're making me cry just thinking about it. It's not just a big challenge. I think you're doing yourself down there. It's an absolutely humongously huge challenge. It's going to be huge. Now, you said there's going to be a team of you sort of travelling up there on the minibus. So who else is taking part in it?
We have got about 14 riders, and there are 3 English clubs riders, and then the rest is all local in Midlands. And we also got a 70-year-old man who's going to join us.
Whoa, hang on. Say that again. How old?
70 years old.
Seriously fit guy.
Seriously fit, and he's been cycling. Because for this ride, before even we accept anyone, we have to look at their quality and how much they can actually cycle. And we have roughly about 14 or 15 miles average a cyclist should do. Because if we have a slow rider, then we'll have problems because we're going to cycle for 10 hours a day. And if a slow rider is going to be 14 hours, which we cannot leave anyone behind. So this cyclist is quite good. He's from Bradford. He got his own club, and he's been cycling all the while. And then we've got a 60-year-old man, and then myself, I'm about 50. And then the rest is all their youngsters.
Right, so you're going to keep it as a team then. So really, it's like the saying goes, really, you're only as fast as the slowest cyclist, I guess, aren't you? Because you're not, it's a team thing, isn't it? So you're not trying to race ahead and leave anybody behind.
No, we won't leave any. We're going to we're going to cycle like a pack so that we'll rotate the front two, and then we got all the rest will be behind, and they'll rotate every 5 minutes. because the front rider, he's going to hit the wind, and the back riders, normally they say they can save 30% of the energy when you cycle behind somebody, because you're not hitting the wind, you're behind him. So we're going to take turns to cycle and cycle all the way down here.
So you're giving I'm saying this very, very loosely. So you're going to be giving yourself a little rest, she says in inverted commas every now, although it's not the best way to. I've only just managed to start cycling without my stabilisers on. So, this sounds like an absolute massive mission. So you've got 3 days. You told me about the stops that you're doing. Where are you going to be sleeping over for the night? Are you going to be camping, or have you sort of booked places where you're going to stay?
We have actually booked the Sikh temples in Edinburgh, Newcastle, Leeds, and Derby. We have spoke to them. We have rearranged all of it. They are preparing all the food and the sleeping arrangement for us. Okay. So those bits are all arranged here.
So you've got that bit. Now, if we go back to the charity that you're doing it for, it's a Sikh Helpline, which I believe you set up. Tell me a little bit about the charity itself.
Well, the Sikh Helpline has been running roughly 20 years now. It started from, I do a lot of youth camps also, where the youth get together a week, 100, 200 of them, then we have different activities. In one of the youth camp, this is 19 years ago, one of the youth camp, one of the girls, she was 13 years old, as far as I can remember. She's saying she's been bullied in school, and her parents are from India, and she doesn't know how to deal with the matter. She spoke to the teacher, no action been taken. She go to the community center, Sikh temple, and most of them are older generation. The priests are from India, so she felt completely lost. And what I did at that time, I spoke to the parents, took her to the school and resolved the matter with the head teacher. And then I realized there's a lot of issues actually in school which these kids need help and support. So not even realizing that it's going to be a national helpline and it's going to be a charity registered helpline. I just printed on a piece of paper, Sikh Helpline. I said, anyone, whether you're Sikh, non-Sikh, anybody who need help, just give us a call. We'll come down voluntarily and help you. So I've been doing that for the last 10, 15 years, just on my own, volunteering, helping. And then I realized there's a lot of issue, not only bullying. We had issue on alcohol, drugs. We had issue on depression, mental health, relationship issues. There's so many problems out there in the community. And then we established it as an organization. We had charity registered it. And then we realized we're getting calls from not only Midlands, we're getting calls from London, we're getting calls from Leicester, from Derby, from Bradford. And then we started to establish groups. We got a lot of volunteers came forward who want to give their time back to the community. So we had a system where we register all the volunteers, and then we got a team leader in each town around the country. So when we get someone calls in from, just say, Leicester, so we get the Leicester coordinator to help and support that person who's going through this tough time.
So it's grown to a very big nationwide network of people that are willing to help, which is also a great thing. Now, you're going to be out for 3 days cycling, and obviously people are going to want to follow your journey and show their support to what you're doing, really. I certainly do. If my knees would stop aching just at the mere thought of doing all that cycling. So can we follow?
And you know what? If you talk to the doctor, if anyone got knee problem, cycling is the best exercise. Because
I've just talked myself into it, haven't I?
Because it doesn't affect much on the knee. Cycling and swimming is the best exercise on knees,
So what I should do then, I'll make a pledge to you then. While you're doing that cycle, I'm going to go to at least one spinning class, because I find that so hard, just so I can kind of be in sympathy with you.
Yeah.
So I can kind of try and find out how you're feeling from it. Can we follow you online? I mean, is there a tracker we can follow you? Can we follow your journey? How can we find out where you are?
If you go on our Sikh Helpline Facebook, we will do live bits and bobs of the journey down to each area, and practically in all these places, like when we are stopping in Newcastle, the Sikh temple in NE4 5QU, we'll reach there about 5-6 o'clock. So most of the Sikh temples we'll reach about 5-6 o'clock.
Oh, brilliant. So get to the temples, have a look on your Facebook page where you can find out where you are. And everybody go and do a spinning class and donate some money to you.
Yeah. It's end of the day, see, exercise we can do wherever we want because so many gym and so on. Like I was talking to one of the riders, he said, one of the riders was 60 years old. He said, the reason I'm doing this ride because he lost his brother through depression. And he only hoped that the helpline were there and he could have helped his brother. You know? So everybody has got some kind of thing in their life where they've gone through. They see the importance. And if I give you one small example, last month we got a call where a young mom and a 10 years old son, single mom and a 10 years old son, they were so depressed for 9 or 10 months. They never left the house. They just stayed in the house. They lost their faith, their trust in the society, in everything else. They just even the social services were saying that you're not a good mom, you're not sending your son to school, but not realizing what she's going through. And she was such in the dark area. She's coming to that kind of thoughts of why don't I just take my life and take my son's life and that's it, end of this life. We don't need to suffer further. And somehow the call came to the helpline, and we sent one of our volunteers down. She took 2 months just to win over her trust because she lost trust. She doesn't trust anyone. She said no one helps. It took 2 months to win over her trust, and she managed to get the son back to the school and got the social services supported the mom and explaining what she's going through. And the same mom now, she has gone back to work, and the son is gone back to school. And they just sent us a very thank you card to the Sikh Helpline saying that if you haven't sent your volunteer, we would have been somewhere else. So this kind of quite serious cases do happen around the community. And that's what the Sikh Helpline is here, because we don't want anyone to suffer in silence. Our campaign is Every Call Matters.
Well, thank you very much for all the great work that you do. Not only the great work that you are doing with the helpline, but also the great work you're doing to raise awareness. I hope this really helps to raise awareness of what you're doing, and best of luck for your challenge. Will you come back and have a chat to us afterwards and tell us how you've got on?
Yes, definitely we will do.
Great, okay.
And thank you for the time.
No problem. Good luck to you. We'll be thinking of you. Best of luck.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.